Moneybagg Yo and his Tennessee-based record label are facing a $100 million lawsuit from a woman who claims launched his career. Sherry Jackson Floyd argues she started helping Demario White Jr. when he was a struggling young artist and spent millions while serving as his personal and business manager. But she says she was never paid the money he promised. The lawsuit also claims when Roc Nation signed Moneybagg Yo, they didn't pay Floyd a buyout. The case is set to go to trial in Shelby County in October.
Moneybagg Yo getting sued. Now, they said that Moneybagg Yo, he promised to help the lady who actually spent a lot of millions of dollars to put him in position, but he never paid her back. And now this is the result of everything that he did. Like, I want everybody to know, Moneybagg Yo, he probably was going to wait to give her the money that he promised her, and he probably already gave her half the money. But this is what they saying that happened, and this is what the witnesses and everybody who actually attended court had to say.
Memphis rap star Moneybagg Yo, his company Bread Gang Enterprise, and Roc Nation were named in a massive $100 million lawsuit filed by former manager Sherry Jackson Floyd. According to court filings and multiple media reports, Jackson Floyd alleges that she played a crucial role in building Moneybagg Yo's career during its earliest stages, only to later be pushed out of the business relationship without receiving compensation she claims was promised to her. The lawsuit, which is reportedly headed toward a jury trial in Shelby County, Tennessee, centers on allegations of breach of contract and tortious interference with contractual relations. The case has attracted widespread attention because of the enormous amount of money being sought and because it involves one of the most successful rappers to emerge from Memphis over the last decade. According to the allegations, Jackson Floyd began working with Moneybagg Yo in 2015 when he was still an up-and-coming artist performing at smaller venues and reportedly earning between roughly $1,500 and $2,500 per show. She claims she served as both a personal and business manager, helping organize operations, secure trademarks, establish business structures, and oversee the day-to-day activities necessary to transform an emerging rapper into a commercially successful brand. Her legal team argues that she invested significant resources into the artist's development and that those investments helped fuel his eventual rise within the music industry. Reports on the lawsuit state that Jackson Floyd alleges she spent between $1.5 million and $2 million supporting the growth of the Moneybagg Yo brand through marketing, business expenses, luxury purchases, and other forms of financial backing. Hot 97. According to the complaint, Jackson Floyd contends that as Moneybagg Yo's career expanded, promises were made regarding future compensation and ownership interests. The lawsuit alleges that the rapper agreed to provide weekly payments of $5,000, a luxury Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon valued at approximately $150,000, and a one-third ownership interest in past and future brand revenues. Jackson Floyd claims those promises were never fulfilled. The lawsuit further alleges that communications, including text messages referenced by her attorneys, support her position that compensation agreements existed between the parties. Her attorney, Ralph Gibson, has publicly described the matter as a commercial contract dispute and argues that the evidence will demonstrate that enforceable obligations were created during the course of the professional relationship. The legal complaint also alleges that unpaid financial obligations connected to accounts associated with Jackson Floyd negatively affected her personal finances and damaged her credit. According to the claims, these financial consequences extended beyond business disagreements and allegedly impacted her personal livelihood. However, it is important to note that these allegations remain contested claims within ongoing litigation and have not been proven in court. Hot 97. A major focus of the lawsuit involves allegations directed toward Roc Nation. Jackson Floyd's legal team argues that Roc Nation became involved with Moneybagg Yo despite allegedly knowing about an existing contractual relationship between Jackson Floyd and the rapper. Her attorney has publicly claimed that Roc Nation intentionally interfered with that relationship and benefited from Moneybagg Yo's growing success, while allegedly disregarding her claimed contractual rights. According to statements attributed to Gibson, the lawsuit contends that industry standards sometimes involve compensation or buyouts for local managers who help develop artists before larger management companies become involved. Jackson Floyd's legal team argues that such considerations did not occur in this situation. Roc Nation had reportedly not publicly responded to the allegations at the time many news reports were published, and no court has determined liability regarding any of the claims. As with all civil litigation, allegations contained in a complaint represent one side's version of events and must ultimately be evaluated through evidence, witness testimony, and legal arguments presented before a judge or jury. Hot 97. The stakes surrounding the lawsuit are extraordinarily high because of the $100 million figure attached to the claims. While large damage requests are not uncommon in entertainment litigation, obtaining such awards requires convincing evidence and legal justification. The jury would need to evaluate whether valid contracts existed, whether those contracts were breached, whether interference occurred, and whether the claimed damages can be supported by evidence. The defense is expected to challenge both liability and damages, and it remains possible that the parties could reach a settlement before a verdict is ever rendered. Nevertheless, the prospect of a Shelby County jury hearing testimony about the early development of one of Memphis's biggest rap stars has generated significant public interest. The case may also provide a rare glimpse into the often private relationships between artists, managers, business partners, labels, and management companies that operate behind the scenes of the music industry. Hot 97. Jackson Floyd's lawsuit paints a picture of a manager who believes she helped create a successful brand from the ground up and was later excluded from the rewards generated by that success. Her attorneys argue that without her efforts, Moneybagg Yo's career trajectory may have looked very different. They point to allegations that she assisted with business organization, branding efforts, financial support, and career management during a critical stage of development. Moneybagg Yo's supporters, meanwhile, are likely to note that artists themselves ultimately create the music, perform for audiences, and bear the pressures that come with building a successful entertainment career. Those competing narratives could become central themes if the case proceeds to trial. Jurors may be asked to determine not only what agreements existed, but also how much value each party contributed to the rapper's rise in the industry. Such questions are often difficult to answer because success in entertainment frequently results from a combination of talent, business strategy, timing, networking, marketing, and audience support. The lawsuit arrives at a time when conversations about artist management and business relationships have become increasingly common throughout the music industry. Over the years, numerous disputes have emerged involving managers, producers, labels, promoters, and artists who disagree about contracts, ownership interests, commissions, and compensation. Some cases end with settlements, while others proceed through years of litigation before reaching a final resolution. Legal battles can sometimes reveal how informal agreements evolve into major disputes once substantial money enters the picture. In Jackson Floyd's case, her legal team argues that she made significant sacrifices and investments with the expectation that she would share in future success. The defendants, however, will have an opportunity to present their own evidence and defenses as the litigation continues. Until a jury renders a verdict or a settlement is reached, the allegations remain claims rather than established facts. Hot 97. As the scheduled Shelby County trial approaches, attention will likely focus on documents, communications, financial records, witness testimony, and the credibility of the parties involved. The outcome could have major financial consequences and potentially influence how future artist management relationships are structured. For Moneybagg Yo, the lawsuit represents a significant legal challenge tied to the earliest years of his career. For Jackson Floyd, it represents an effort to obtain compensation she believes she earned through years of work and financial commitment. For Roc Nation,
The allegations raise questions about the circumstances surrounding its involvement with the artist and whether any contractual obligations existed that should have been addressed. Whatever the ultimate outcome, the case stands as one of the most closely watched music business lawsuits currently unfolding in Tennessee, and the eventual verdict or settlement could have lasting implications for everyone involved. At this stage, however, the claims remain allegations awaiting determination through the legal process, and no defendant has been found liable in court. Hot 97.